Hello guys. Wait. Hello. Hello guys. Welcome. Hello guys. Welcome back to a new video. And today we're gonna play Animal Revolt Battle Simulator. Was it? Yeah, I think this is. Today I'm playing mobile because I always play mobile. I don't know how to record on computer, and I don't have a computer, so I'm just a kid now. I'm only 9 years old, and I'm about to be 10, so I still don't have a computer. Okay, I've done some pretty cursed things like this that I can. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. The missile. Look, I can take down 3 fully sized.
Hey, you just ran someone's butt over. Can you believe this?
It can take out 3 fully sized hydras. I'm overpowered.
Unlucky for you, you just murdered me. See you. Please, dude. Hello, Cass. I'd like to inform you we are both about to die. Greetings, Lexi Single. I see you also wear jeans today. I would like to inform
Now it's about to kill
you that
you.
you're not allowed to wear those. Ew. What do you mean, ew? Hey, Maya, you want to die? You want to die, Maya? I mean, Lexi. Excuse me, Lexi. Only I can wear jeans. Change now. I will spread terrible rumors about you, and you will be single forever. How about that? Hey, Toby. Hey, Toby. Bro, I'm about ready to just start killing everybody in this server.
There we go.
She just took a look at me.
Okay,
Had to make sure she
okay,
was looking
now
at
I'm
me,
gonna
she
make a
looked at me,
missile.
And then ran away. You'll make fun of me like everybody else did. I'm about to
Comment
roll
down
because
below
I'm
if you
weird noob. Okay, that's
what
not
you
good.
want
That's
to
not good. What she said got sent to I think we
what you want me to play next video, and that next video is gonna be a while, probably about
this girl right now, this outfit's really expensive and I can't afford it, and it's very limited,
probably
so it's
about
put that there. Oh, God,
5 or 3 days from now,
I almost just broke the entire server.
because in 4 days it's my birthday. Yay!
It's just a really cool world that we live in. I have
Okay.
no explanation for it. Okay, I have now
Today I'm
evolved
gonna
into
make a
the hottest
missile,
man that,
and
for,
if you
my God,
and if you
my
suggest,
eyes.
if I see many
Okay, wait, let me,
I'm gonna play the game that most people suggest, and it's gotta be free because I don't have money. My mom and dad have money, but I don't. Yes.
It's all a trick. I was actually the world's hottest guy. Hey, I'm more realistic than you. Noob. Bro, why does Roblox block noob? What?
Okay.
Yeah, you think I'll stop me?
Now.
I will murder you. Dude, how?
Giant invertebrates.
Like you. I want hot girl. Oh, wait, what? Wait, how'd you get admin, weirdo? No, please, please. I wish my eyes weren't on the side of my head. Why am I dying? Oh, wait, he doesn't know I'm an admin. He thinks this is like a Roblox head that I just bought. I think our
There we
version
go.
like this and nothing less. Here I am just flexing my my beautiful
Yeah,
face. Hey, I'm the best.
This one, yes, this one. I don't have. I swear, I want a computer.
I will literally destroy you. What do you think of me? Please tell me what you
This
think.
one
Please.
blows
I wish I
towards
could
the
make this
enemy.
character's mouth
Yes,
open and
that
just
one.
vomit pours out.
I'm just gonna.
I want to get the public's opinion on me, or else I will ban you. You have left me no choice but to end your life. Excuse me, your friend wants to come in. You left your friend outside. Go get the door, idiot. Go get the door. I can get you from here. You are now dead. This video goes, it's in memory of my ego. Nobody loves me anymore. Oh God, this is the hottest guy actually. Oh my God, she had to witness.
Oh yeah, that's Flamingo.
Now she has to stare at
That's
the second hottest
the
guy.
video
Ew.
I'm
I'm trying
watching.
to trick this girl. Like I'm trying to get her to quit Roblox by saying.
Video
like,
section. Yes.
I want her to think her time on Roblox is limited. Yeah, it's creepy. Come on, girl, let's play Pump Penguin instead. Help me? What do you mean? reason to help you. That guy just tried to save you and I accidentally killed him. Get over here. Get over here, Buster. You can't escape that. You can only run from it.
Jerry Neutron, got to relax. Will you help me find a cute boy?
Wait, I'm having a brain blast.
Adam, do the look at Jimmy Neutron inside the ear thing.
Wait a second.
I'm a cute boy.
Rainbow Unicorn, you have found your cute boy. Hello, I am boy. I am boy. Ah, see, she's really relieved that she found the hottest guy in the world. See, I showed you guys the hottest girl in the world earlier. Now you see the hottest guy. Look at me. Hey. Oh,
There we go.
Okay,
Now I just need TNT.
I thought you were about to play some actual copyrighted stuff, and I would have had to ban you. Go away! You don't need to have a soundtrack to my life. Die! Alright, let's talk to this guy. This guy's just as much of a loser as I am. He's been rejected by more girls than me. Hello.
Oh,
I'm
stop moving.
Hello, I'm Giblet Neutron. Please acknowledge me. I wonder what Rainbow is up to. Hello. Hey, you literally
You have got
asked
to be
for a
kidding
boy.
me.
Hey, you thought
Oh
you
yeah,
were
my
here to
brother.
lock the door on
My
me?
brother is.
Me?
I'm currently in the living. I'm no. Why can't? Okay, I'm gonna. No. Okay, no more cutting this time. I'm currently in my bedroom with my brother. He's sleeping. Yeah, he's sleeping. I'm gonna turn face cam on him, but I'll never show my actual face. Wait. I swear, if this points at me. Wait. No. There, that's my brother. He's asleep. Now I gotta turn this stupid thing off. How do I do this? Haha, losers. Take the L. What's the best shape for a missile? Of course, the worm. Now, guinea pig. Big boy guinea pig. That's this. Little boy. Things. Them. No. Deer. There. I'll actually play some things on the TV. Something other than flamenco. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is the by Groovy Dominoes. So I don't know what copyright is. When someone please in the comments tell me what copyright is. Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn up the sound. I'm gonna turn up the sound. That's also na. Wait. Let me just cut this for.
I'm really sorry
You
about
don't have to wait
I really
to. It's really relaxing. Groovy that I can focus. This song, that song was by Groovy Dominoes 52. Groovy why? Gro I hate myself. Why? This song is by This song is by Groovy Dominoes 52. Just search on YouTube Friday Night Pumpkin versus Carl the NPC, and it'll show up. Yeah. You wanna see it for yourself? Go. Now back to flamenco.
New Piggy remake. You know what Tom and Jerry is?
I swear if I'm not recording. Oh thank goodness I'm recording. Or else I will destroy my phone.
Oh no! You have fallen into my trick.
Mr.
Sig or Babe is what I'm assuming. Pinky? Oh no, Kitty. Oh wait, that's me. So you're this gross looking mouse and you have to run away from the cat. You have to go down here, around the corner, through here, and she's probably dead.
Let's see.
As the hero of the story, we will try anyway.
My guitar.
Oh god, he's right there! No! My boy! Here, give me. Oh! We all lost. How?
And here it comes. The lag.
One thing that is different about this is when you
Ow.
get targeted by Kitty, you get put in this little cage where all
Let's
other
wait
mice
for
go,
it.
and somebody can actually somebody can save you. Alright, so we're gonna skip the cutscene, we're gonna go straight to
Oh my
this.
god, so laggy.
Oh, there's a key in there. Okay, I see. So I need a crowbar. One thing I found out, I played. Oh wait, crowbar, get me. Oh, you're not gonna get me this time. You'll get him though. Bro, he's really blocking us in here, dude. Oh god, he's scared me. No, that's mine. I'm grinding for that. Oh, you idiot. Boy, you're gonna get me killed. Okay, we got out of there. Safe and sound. Alright, so, okay. I'm gonna try to jump over it. So, I can find him in a cage, right? Where's the cage? Hey, there he is! Come on. Just go through the crack. Oh! What do I need? A lockpick or something? I'll save you. I swear by this. Just sit tight for a little bit. Come on, lockpick. Where's the lockpick, dude?
Okay.
What if one of them has the lockpick?
Where'd it go?
Do we just give up after that? E. Oh, there we go. Oh, God. I can just jump across that. Okay, no, I can't. Hey, I'm back here.
The missile disappeared.
He really went ham on the traps right there. Oh, God. Stop it. Oh, God, there's no... Hey, stop it now. I don't like
Where's the missile?
I can break down that door right there. I can go away.
Literally disappeared. Oh, there it is.
Little mouse hole. Anyway, have fun. Alright, now
Time for the dive.
Aha! What do I get now? Piece of wood. Okay, now I can go across here.
There, go.
Oh, okay, thank you. What do I get? I got absolutely nothing.
Pause.
Out of that.
Why?
This.
Why is this?
Put it right here.
Oh,
That does
it's
something.
awake.
Alright, there was more of those around the map somewhere that I have to get. Oh, okay, I think the mice died actually. So I don't need to save anybody anymore. Right, oh! Whoop. Alright, so this leads to... Where does this lead to? Okay. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh god, stop it! Okay, I'm making it! Alright, there we go. Now what? Dude, now what? Now what do we do? Wait, he never really used the red key, huh? Alright, where do I use this red key? Bro, this guy's annoying. Okay, I have to go right there. Alright, I should probably not hold out the red key. Distracted by that guy.
Why?
He's captured
No.
now. Oh no! No. Oh wait, I can go down here. This
Not
maybe leads
properly.
to... Oh wait, I had that card earlier. Wait. Bro, I dropped my crowbar.
Now it's time for unlock.
So what I need to do, well, my computer is breaking right now. I can't move my camera that much. Okay, there we go.
Okay, I'm gonna play Roblox for a little bit.
My...
Bye.
There!
Okay, I'm
he
back.
really just wants to kill that guy again. We're gonna run out of time. Close. Wait, read. Oh my god, dude, they only have my crowbar. Who has the crowbar? Wait, here's this. Who has the crowbar, dude? Well, I'm not gonna save you. It's like, speak up. You don't even know where the lockpick is. Like, I don't know how to rescue that.
How about
Oh,
wood?
dear, I still need to get this
Let me
piece of
put
wood off
alcohol
there.
on it.
Come
Wait. Dad! Nah. Okay guys, I'm back.
The global pandemic has claimed lives and crippled economies, while wildfires ravaged the landscape in various locations. Social chaos has consumed
Not
nations,
this-
and
not this
floods,
one, my baby
earthquakes, explosions, and earthquakes have caused destruction the world over. But as bad as 2020 might seem, ain't got nothing on year 536. So, strap in and let's rewind the clock almost 1,500 years to a truly hellish year where summer never came. What would you do if you woke up one morning, pulled back the curtains, and despite being daytime in the middle of summer, the sky was dark? Not only that, but the usual warmth of summer has been replaced by bitter cold.
I'm back.
What if this coldness had caused much of the year's harvests to fail completely, leaving people starving to death in the streets? On top of that, a deep fog is gathering everywhere you look, and rumors are stirring of a horrendous, highly infectious sickness killing people without mercy. Depending on what kind of person you are, you might think the end times have come. That's what many people living in the year 536 of the Common Era, otherwise known as 536 AD, concluded when they observed the things I just described. The inexplicable darkness and the famine and pestilence that soon followed were seen as omens that the gods had turned their back on humanity for good. One ancient chronicler writing about these dark days shared the anecdote of a plague-stricken Egyptian city, where a crying child was told to go now and weep not, for this punishment is the payment for heresy and sin. This morbid, apocalyptic feeling could be found all over the world at this time, and it all seemed to stem from that mysterious darkened sky. So, just how dark was it? Well, when the Byzantine historian Procopius wrote of the sun giving forth its light without brightness for the entire year of 536, he wasn't just being dramatic. Countless other sources from the time back his claims up, like Cassiodorus, a Roman politician, who wrote of citizens being disturbed by how, even in daytime, their bodies were casting no shadows. He also noted that the seasons appeared to be jumbled together in one long winter. Others describe the sun as being in an 18-month-long solar eclipse-like state, noting that only 3 hours of substantial daylight would occur each day. There was clearly something very wrong. But what caused this darkening of the heavens? For many years, this question left modern historians scratching their heads. That was until 2018, when researchers at the University of Maine discovered a culprit. Analyzing ice from a Swiss glacier, the researchers found unmistakable evidence of a cataclysmic volcanic eruption occurring in 536 AD, demonstrated by the presence of volcanic glass particles within the layers of ice. Further analysis suggested the eruption occurred in Iceland, though some geoscientists believe it may have occurred in Central America instead. Wherever it occurred, the eruption spewed ash across the northern hemisphere in such quantities that for around a year and a half, the sun's light could barely penetrate through. The 2018 glacier analysis discovery was found to line up nicely with separate observations made more than 2 decades earlier, revealing the shocking extent of the eruption's impact. In the 1990s, scientists studying tree ring cross-sections determined that summers around the year 536 were unusually cold, as evidenced by abnormally small amounts in the rings corresponding to that period. As it turned out, after 536, the world saw its coldest decade on record in 2,000 years. And thanks to the glacier analysis, we now know this big chill was directly connected to the same thing that had cast an apocalyptic darkness over the world of 536, a massive volcanic eruption. Of course, back in 536, very few people were aware the eruption had even happened, let alone the fact that it was responsible for the global darkness and dropping temperatures. But with the benefit of scientific understanding, we're able to tell precisely how this powerful eruption caused a cooling darkness to spread across the land. Part of it came from fine ash particles, which rode atmospheric currents in enormous quantities and collectively cast a foggy shadow onto the earth below. The emissions of sulfurous gases during the eruption, though, were likely to have had the largest impact upon the changes in temperatures. This is because, when volcanoes erupt, sulfur dioxide is released in great quantities into the atmosphere, where it combines with water to form sulfuric acid aerosols. These tiny droplets of sulfuric acid reflect some of the incoming radiation from the sun, preventing it from reaching the earth and warming it. These aerosols would have taken years to settle out of the atmosphere, extending the cold spell far beyond the period of darkness witnessed in 536, with the influence of the Earth's main energy source severely hampered by the veil of dust and
Let's see it
gas.
again.
Global summer temperatures dropped by between
Something.
2.7 degrees Fahrenheit and 4.5 degrees Fahrenheit, with disastrous consequences. Without the necessary energy, crops failed to grow
And
in
it's
regions
dead.
ranging from
How?
Ireland
It's
to
not dead?
Scandinavia,
How?
Mesopotamia, and even China. One ancient Syrian
actually doing
scribe
damage
wrote
to
how,
it.
during that year,
How is it
fruit
doing
did
that?
not reach the point
And
of
it's
maturity,
dead.
and all the land became as though transformed into something half alive, or like someone suffering from a long illness. And while the ever-present foreboding ash fog that afflicted the Middle East, China, and
Dead.
Europe was certainly eerie, the effects went far beyond giving people the heebie-jeebies. In areas of China that were accustomed to sunny summers, the heat-blocking veil that lay heavy in the skies led, instead, to summertime snowfall. This delayed the year's harvest, leading to devastating famines
Gonna-
nationwide. The same
The-
effect was experienced in Ireland, where various sources recorded failures of the crops needed for bread, not just in 536, but also in the 3 years that followed. At the same time, Teotihuacan, a large city in Mesoamerica, felt the effects arguably harder than anywhere else. It's theorized that famines and droughts resulting from the eruption's catastrophic climate effects were bad enough to lead to the society's collapse. Evidence suggests the poorer citizens of Teotihuacan, unable to feed themselves, turned on their ruling class, sacking and burning their homes, presumably after stealing any food that was being hoarded. In the wake of all this chaos, the Mesoamerican city was brought to its knees, leaving it vulnerable to attacks and exploitation by neighboring cities, leading to its permanent demise. With famine rampant across the world, the events of 536 would not be quickly forgotten. But neither could they be explained by the people at the time, leading many to assume these difficult events were the work of the gods. Historians have suggested that we can trace the impact of this year by the efforts people appear to have made to bring back the sun. The dust-veiled sky, dimming the celestial bodies above, seems to have been perceived as an omen of doom for Scandinavian communities in particular. Various hoards of gold, jewelry, and other precious items have been discovered in Scandinavia, seemingly deposited around this time. It's possible that these were left in an attempt to bring the sun back. And with the hoards being of substantial size, it's clear they weren't messing around. With darkness, starvation, and death ever present for the duration of this period, archaeologist Morton Axpo has suggested that the year 536 may even have influenced the later formation of the important Viking myths. Norse mythology describes something called Fimbulvinter, meaning Great Winter, where 3
There.
consecutive winters occur without any summer in between. In the myths,
No.
the Fimbulvinter is immediately followed by Ragnarok, where a great battle of the gods sees much of the world destroyed and eventually reborn anew. Considering these mythological traditions don't appear to have existed before the 6th century, Axpo suggests that the long-lasting memory of the events of 536 AD may have inspired their creation. So while it was certainly a terrible year, the one positive is that without its events, we may never have been able to watch Thor Ragnarok today. With a year bad enough to seemingly inspire apocalyptic legends, it's fair to argue that 536 was one of the worst 365 days in human history. It certainly eclipses some of the exaggerated claims made by drama queens online that 2020 is the worst year ever. But as crazy as it sounds, 536 AD was just the beginning. A large part of the reason 536 is considered to be the worst year in human history is because the suffering it produced left humans worldwide particularly vulnerable to what came next. The period that followed continued on a serious downturn for humanity, with more chilly summers brought about by two additional volcanic eruptions thought to have occurred in 540 and 547, respectively. But the period immediately following 536 AD is most vividly remembered for something that ravaged the emaciated communities and vulnerable immune systems of the starving: the First Plague Pandemic. This occurred long before the Black Death of 1347 to 1351, which you're probably more familiar with. This earlier plague was first reported in Egypt in 541, with an outbreak of the disease caused by Yersinia pestis, a bacteria transmitted to humans by the Oriental rat flea. Those infected with the disease experienced agonizing buboes as their lymph nodes became swollen, often to the point of bursting. Alongside these, the infected experienced high fever, coughing, seizures, gangrene, and the painful rotting of flesh, among other horrendous symptoms that culminated in death in upwards of 2/3 of cases. With the failed harvests that began in 536, many European countries saw migrations of starving folks looking for better climates to grow crops. All the while, various wars were being fought, many involving the Eastern Roman Empire under Justinian I, who was trying to expand and maintain Roman influence around the world. These wars and migrations meant that when the plague broke out, it was allowed to spread even quicker than it might have otherwise. This was thanks to the flea-carrying rats that inevitably snuck into the food reserves on the carts and ships these mass movements of people took with them. But the mass migration of starving people wasn't the only way the events of 536 accelerated the later spreading of the plague. Research carried out in recent years has found that when a flea is infected with Yersinia pestis, the bacteria can cause a blockage in the flea's gut. This blockage prevents the flea from being able to properly digest the blood it feeds on, leaving it in a perpetual state of hunger. These blockages in the flea's guts are considerably more likely to form at lower temperatures, as they tend to disintegrate as temperatures approach the mid-80s Fahrenheit or 30 Celsius. With the volcanic eruption of 536 lowering global temperatures, particularly in summer, the plague-carrying fleas, whose guts were consequently more likely to become clogged by the bacteria, became ravenous. Desperately seeking a filling meal, but to no avail, they would be increasingly likely to seek alternative sources of blood. This, in turn, may have led them to hop from rat to rat, and eventually to human hosts, as their insatiable hunger took hold. By feeding on humans more regularly, the fleas were inadvertently accelerating the transmission of the plague. This accelerated outbreak proved particularly devastating in places like the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire, Constantinople.
Yeah, I know this is
now
boring.
known as Istanbul
Deal with
in
it.
modern-day Turkey. A historian of the time, by the name of Procopius, reported that at its peak, the plague was claiming 10,000 lives a day in Constantinople. While some modern historians dispute the accuracy of this figure, the devastation was undeniable. Even the ruler of the Eastern Roman Empire at the time, Justinian I, contracted the disease, though he was one of the lucky few who managed to survive. Outbreaks of the First Plague would continually reoccur after this initial pandemic without any real respite for over 200 years. While the precise figures are heavily disputed by historians, as many as 100 million people may have died by the time these recurrent outbreaks finally slowed down. Now, as devastating as the First Plague pandemic was, there is one upside. It makes the pandemic we're currently facing seem like a walk in the park. COVID-19 is reported to have claimed over 1 million lives globally as of late 2020, which is certainly no small number. But out of a total world population of 7.5 billion, that's only around 0.013%. By comparison, if the first series of plague outbreaks really did kill 100 million people over 200 years, that averages out at around 500,000 per year. The global population in the 6th century is estimated to have been around
There,
210
it's done.
million.
Same. I
An
don't wanna
average
do
of
that again.
0.24% of the population was dying every year. Not only is our current pandemic's death rate 20
Why can't-
times smaller,
no.
but the survival rate
Oh,
for
this is
COVID-19
taking long.
is estimated to be
Okay,
around
let me test this and I'm gonna end the
29%.
video.
Against the less than 33% survival rate of the bubonic plague in the 6th century, that's pretty reassuring. On top of that, coronavirus doesn't tend to be nearly as gruesome nor as agonizingly painful as the plague. So we've got that going for us too. But if you want to see how bad pandemics really get, there's no better comparison than the Black Death of 1347 to 1351. In merely 4 years, upwards of 50 million people are estimated to have died, though some sources suggest the numbers were even higher, at a generalized average
see.
of 12.5
I made you strong.
million deaths per
Now
year,
prove it.
with a pre-plague global population of around 475 million, roughly
He has a
2.6%
shield.
of the
He
world's
has all
population
shields.
were
What
dying
is up?
yearly. That's
No.
200 times the yearly number of lives coronavirus is currently taking in 2020, making 1347 arguably 200 times more worthy of the title of worst year ever. What's more, this 2.6% average figure would have been significantly higher in practice as the Black Death approached its peak, as infection rates soared and the world population in turn declined. Most shocking of all, with an extremely high proportion of plague outbreaks occurring in Europe, it's estimated that between 30 to 50% of the European population was wiped out in that period. Scary stuff, right? But don't be fooled into thinking truly deadly plagues forming contenders for the title of worst year ever are merely the stuff of the distant past. As recently as 1918, a specific strain of the influenza virus, known as the Spanish influenza, or H1N1 to scientists, spread rapidly across Europe, Asia, and the Americas. This devastating plague infected around 500 million people worldwide, approximately 1/3 of the world's population at the time. By the time the dreadful pandemic subsided in 1920, H1N1 had killed at least 50 million people. The deadly strain could infect even the healthiest of individuals, and opened the body up to lethal secondary infections and afflictions like pneumonia. World War I was raging at the time, and the awful conditions in the trenches and cramped medical camps were hotbeds for the sickness. It could be spread with a mere sneeze or cough, rendering the pandemic unstoppable in these close-quarter environments. These conditions, coupled with modern, speedy transport methods moving huge masses of soldiers, allowed it to spread, infect, and mutate into ever more aggressive forms with ease. To put it into perspective, H1N1 killed more U.S. soldiers than World War I itself did. While the thought of a virus that could be spread by merely coughing might sound scarily familiar, a direct comparison with 2020's coronavirus might put your mind at ease. Considering a loose average of 25 million people, 1.3% of the 1.6 billion pre-pandemic population died from H1N1 per year of the pandemic. The 1 million deaths per year of COVID-19 seems comfortingly small. But while deadly plagues certainly created some of history's worst years, it was 536 AD's climate cataclysm causing volcanic eruption that really made it stand out. But 536 wasn't the only
faster.
year in history where summer never came.
I wish
Another
this
one of these years
game
occurred
had-
in 1815. On the 10th of April that year,
I wish this game had a fast forward, like the slow motion.
exploded in one of the most powerful
makes it
volcanic
speed.
eruptions in recorded history. The plume of the eruption reached 141,000
Won't stop
feet
blowing.
into
Okay,
the
guys.
sky,
I
and
think
as
I'll
many
end
as
it here.
10,000 people died in the
I think
immediate
I'll end it
blast.
here.
Some of these
Like and
unfortunate
subscribe
souls
if
were
you like the
scorched and
video.
choked to
Comment
death
below
by the
what you want me to
superheated
play
ash,
next.
while
And
others
if
were
it's
crushed
Animal
by
Revolt
falling
Battle
debris.
Simulator
Huge
or a
amounts of
creating game,
vegetation on the
tell
island
me
was
what you want
destroyed
to
in
make
the
me create.
blast, while volcanic rock
Bye.
blanketed the surrounding